Hello you guys, welcome back to my channel. So on today's video, I'm kind of showing you how I tackle a color correction. So this girl had gotten her hair done a couple weeks prior at a different salon and felt like there were areas that were a little too purple, some were too gold, and she just wanted it evened out. So we are going to be doing a full highlight, a paint between, and then 3 different toners to help even all of this out. One of the most important things to remember when doing a color correction is it's very important to explain to the client that this could be a process, explain how long it could take, how much it's going to cost. In this situation, she had just gotten her hair done 2 weeks prior, so I didn't want to push the limits, and I told her I was only going to do what her hair allowed me to this day, and it could take another appointment or 2 to get the perfect result. And it's always good to have those conversations in the beginning so that expectations are met and they understand what's going on. And we are here doing a full highlight. You can see I'm in the front, my co-stylist McKenna is in the back, and we are just tackling this with a full highlight. And our pattern kind of varies depending on the section of hair we're working on. Overall, we are doing very thin sections so that we can get good saturation and an even lift, but we are kind of working around over processed pieces, so we will leave those out. And then there are some darker pieces we want to keep in for dimension. So in some sections we're doing baby lights, some it's a thicker stitch pattern, just depending on what we're working with in that section. Okay, and it doesn't just end with the full highlight. We are also doing a paint between to help even out any of that splotchiness she felt she had. So we are just kind of taking something that matches her natural root color. We are doing Shades EQ here, and I did 4NB, 6NA, and this is just to help kind of add a little bit of depth and neutralize some tones, but also counteract some warmth she had. And then I also don't want it to go too ashy because there were some purple pieces, so that NB comes in handy there. So we are doing this paint between in between all of the foils, and I feel like this step just takes it to the next level. We are going to root at the bowl, of course, but I feel like doing the paint between softens and blends before, so it makes your job easier at the bowl. I'm also going through and adding some lowlights as well. This is something I like to do after my highlighted section is done, because I feel like the highlights are really important to get in the right area, and if you leave a whole section out for a low light, it can be too dark. So I put my highlights in first, and then I can pinpoint where I want more dimension by adding in a shadow light or a low light based off of what I'm looking at after the foils are in. The low light formula is 6NB just by itself. I really love the NB series. If you haven't been able to tell, whether it's a low light, a root, a toner, it's amazing. The final step at the chair is to tip out the ends. I usually back comb, and then I will either do a slice or a weave depending on how thin the section is. And this is just going to help give us added brightness towards the ends. It really makes the blondes pop and just takes it to the next level. For the entire highlight, I used 20 volume, but for tipping out the ends, I always bump it up. So I did 30 just because this is done very last and I want it to process accurately. All right, so now we are at the bowl doing the toning. She sat for about an hour to process, and now we are going to be doing a root smudge just to kind of even everything out and give her a low maintenance look. So I am using Goldwell Colorants 4N6A, and I'm making sure that I use the 6A because 6N in Goldwell is like straight red. It's a little too warm for my liking, so doing the 6A with the 4N gives me exactly the look I'm going for. Now that we're in the front sections, I'm doing the same thing, but I am going a little bit higher up, not as far down, and then that thick money piece in the front I'm going to keep for very last just so that we keep that bright. And we are doing that same formula, just shadowing around the face, and then we're going to comb everything out to blend. So the toning process for something like this isn't just slapping a root on and toning the ends. It's going to be a little more in depth because we had uneven lifting in different areas, and we're also trying to blend and counteract unwanted tones. So after I did the root area, I'm now going through and doing a mid toner. This is going to help that root transition nicely into the mid, and then we're going to do a different toner for the end so that all blends and builds a nice gradual 3-tone transition, but it's really just going to help everything look even. Since I did a 4 and a 6 on the root, I want to do a level 7, maybe 8-ish on the mid, and then like an 8, 9 on the ends so that it has like a natural progression from the level 4 and 6 down to the 8 and 9 so it doesn't look like a harsh contrast. Also, I apologize that you can hear my child screaming in the background. I put him down for bed and he's not happy about it, but I'm sure you working moms can relate to what I'm going through. All right, so this is the final result, and I was so happy with the way this turned out. Like we talked about in the beginning, I was very upfront with her that it could take a few sessions to perfect what we were wanting to get, but I love the way it turned out after the first session. It got a little more even, more blended, and it looked beautiful on her. So super happy with these results. I would say it took about 5 hours, and this is what I charged right here. I'll put it on the screen. So just keep in mind that color corrections are time-consuming and expensive, but worth the money and the time if your client's happy at the end of it. So let me know what you guys learned from this video, what you enjoyed about it, and what you would like to see in the future. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day.